When we say percent, we mean 100%. But sometimes some people want 200 or 300% of what they don't have. They want 200 or 300% of what they don't have. They want that. So today we will be talking about percentages in this class. How to change from percentage to decimals and fractions. We want to see the relationship between decimals, fractions, and percentages. For instance, if I write 2%, it means 2 out of 100. So I've easily explained the whole of the thing to you. So this example now, we have 25%. This simply means my 25 over 100. That's 25 out of 100. Then what about 8%? What will it be then? Okay, it will be 8 over what? 100. Now, here's the tricky one. We have 12.5%. What will it be? It's still going to be 12, 1 over 2 over 100. But does this make sense? 1 over 2, if you're quite aware with your fractions, is what? 0.5. But I wouldn't do that. I want everyone who sees this to know what was done and what happened for us to get the final answer. Now do this. What have we been doing when we see mixed numbers? We turn them into improper fractions. So we say 2 times 12 is what? 24, right? Plus, that's 1, that is 25. So we say 25 over 2 over 100. This means you have 25 over 2 divided by 100. This is dividing 1. This 100 is over 1. And remember the trick. This simply means 25 over 2 times 1 over 100. Where does this lead us? It means we have 25 over 200. And when you have this, what is the next thing to do? 5 can divide 25 how many times? 5 times. 5 can divide this 20, that is 4 and 0, 0. So you have 5 over 40. But it doesn't end there. What can still divide this 5? 5 can divide 5, 1. 5 can divide 40, 8. So your final answer is 1 over 8. Do you see that? That's the whole process, and that's how they get it. Okay? 5% was 25 over 100, which goes further. Going further now, 5 here can divide it as 5. 5 here, this is what? 20. And if you divide, it's 1, 4. So it becomes 1 over 4 as a fraction. Reduced to the lowest term as a fraction, now we have 1 over 4. That's changing from percentage to fraction. But this same fraction now, as it is, we want to now write it as a decimal. To write it as a decimal, it's quite easy. The young man up here, which we call the numerator, goes into hiding in the division line. Goes into hiding. While the big man, we call the denominator, stays out and tries to come in. And for him to come in, he must obey some rules. So look at 4 divide 1. Is it possible? We say no. You can share one thing to 4. It's going to be fractional too. So you write 0. And for it to make more sense, what do? you put a decimal point so that you can add a 0 for this young man to be able to come in. 4 divide 10. How many times? 2 times. 2 times. You say 2 times 4 is what? 8. Now subtract. What do you get? You get 2. But you can say 4 divided 2, so you add another 0. 4 divided 20 this time around is what? 5. 5 times 4 is what? 20. So what do we have as our decimal? Our decimal now becomes 0.25. And you can still do it directly with this, according to the left strategy. To the left. 25% is what? Moving is 25 over 100. Now, to the left. 1, we move to the left. 2, we move to the left. Put your decimal point. Easy peasy, like a cheesy. So when you put the decimal point, it becomes 0.25. If there's no number here, you put your 0. So get this way or this way. Is that clear? Okay. Good. Now let's try the second one. We have 8%, right? 8% simply means we have 8 over 100. Reduce to the lowest term now. 4 can divide. Okay, let's see. Should we start with 2? Okay, let's start with 2. 2 will divide 8 as 4. 2 will divide 100 as 50. 2 can still divide. 2 will divide this as 2. 2 will divide this as what? 25. And you can see that you are almost there. So we have 2 over 25 as your fraction. 2 over 25 as your what? Fraction. This same thing here, remember I told you one of the shortest methods, which is 8 over 100 as decimals now. You can simply say to the left, 1, it doesn't end there, to the left, 2, put your decimal point. See, decimal points, look at the distance between this place and this. Put a 0 there, put your 8 here, and because there's a decimal point, you put your 0 this way. You solve your problem with ease and speed. But if you want to use this as your base to solve the problem too, you still follow this procedure of saying 2 goes in, 25 stays out, 25 tries to divide 2, it's not possible, so you write 0, then you put a dot. Then you have 20. Can 25 divide 20? No. So you say 0 times 25 is still 0. Okay, before now, we are supposed to, 0 times this is what? 0, 0. You have 20. Now it's still 0, 0. It's still 20. Let me put it up this way. It's still 20. Now, this time around, I'm adding another 0 at the back of it. 25 divide 200 now. 8. 8 times 25 is what? 200. Subtract, you get dot, dot, dot. So it's still the same answer. And I will see you on the other side of you copying this. Quickly. It's dealing with changing percentages to decimals and fractions. But this time around, we want to change from decimals and fractions to percentages. What does it take? These are the examples, and I want to just quickly explain to us. If you want to change this fraction to percentage, what do you need to do? 3 over 4, the easiest way to go about it is multiply by 100 over 1. 2 can divide 4. How many times 2? Can divide 100. How many times 50? There's still no entry. 2 can divide 2, 1, and this 25. Now you're left with what? 3 multiplied by 25 over 1. So 3 times 25, long and short of it is what? 75. So that's 75%. Same thing applies in this case. 1 over 5 times 100 over 1, which is 100%. What do we have? 5 in 1, in 10 that's 2, in 0 that's 20. So 1 times 20 is what? 20. So we have 20%. Though we can add fractions of this nature. Let's just look at number 3. 1 on number 1 over 2. This becomes, move it. 2 times 1 is what? 2 plus 1, that's 3 over 2, multiplied by 100 over 1. This is 2 here, 1. In this, we have 50. 3 times 60 is what? 150. So we have 150%. Remember I said some people want more than 100%. That's a situation like that. So in this case now, we want to change from decimals. Here we just finished with fractions. Now we want to change 0.25 as a decimal to percentage. What do? We simply say wherever you see the decimal point, write the number 1 under it. 0, 0. Okay? Now, this time around, to the right. Remember the other one when you wanted to change from percentage to decimals, you did to the left. This time is to the right. To the right, 1. To the right, 2. Okay? If you've done it that way, you have 25. That is 25%. Now, the decimal point, what did I say you write? Anywhere you see it, you write 1. And the number that follows is 0. Multiply it by, okay, no, there's no need for multiplication. Move it, this you move it, change it to 100. That's 100. To the right, 1. To the right, 2. So what do you have? 80, because you hold the decimal point percentage. So that is all. See you in the next class by Wednesday.